Well, thank you everyone for taking the time to listen to me speak and inviting me. It was a pleasure to listen to everybody speak about their passions and what's really important to them. And you guys are all individual, and I love that. So it's an honor to be here. So thank you. So my journey, oh man, I don't know where to start. I could talk to you probably for like an hour because there's just so much, but I'll try to put it in the 5 minutes. But I was born and raised in London, Ontario. I went to school here. I went to university here. I graduated with my degree last June. And my life kind of did a drastic 180-degree turn when I was in second year university. So all the way through my life, I was a sport jock, as they call. I had no style. I looked like a boy, pretty much. And I just was in love with sports, and I wanted to go to school to be a sports psychologist. And halfway through school, I got scouted to do Miss Universe Canada. And I knew nothing about fashion. I could walk in heels, nothing. Like, I didn't know what to do. And the story behind that was when I was younger, my stepsister, she had a dream of being an actress. So I would go to her with her calls, I would support her as much as I could, and they would want me to be involved with that kind of stuff as well. But with modeling, you know, the scams and they want money and all this kind of stuff, I'm just like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. If it's meant to find me, it will find me. And I just let it go, I put it up there and just forgot about it. And then going to class, I was on a bus, and this lady sat beside me and got in my little personal bubble. Like, she sat beside me. And she's like, you need to call this number. And just gave me a card, and she's like, call it. Okay, I had no idea what it was. And it ended up being an agency here in London. And I was just like, all right, well, let's do it. Let's see what comes out of it. I took the classes. It was normal. Like, with modeling, you have to take the classes, because I know people have questions about that. And when you take classes, it's just like going to school, but for a model. And I took the classes and graduated, as they call it, when you're done. And I ended up being involved in the fashion industry, and it took off like that. And it was a passion and a gift that I was blessed with that I had no idea about. But I was curious, and it was actually put in my lap, like you here, and I just rolled with it. And then, so when I did Miss Universe Canada, I was one of the top delegates that placed. And from there, the doors just opened. When you hear one door closes, another door opens, it was exactly like that. And then from there, I did Swimsuit USA, and then I did the top model search of Canada for the Supermodels that just finished in March, and I placed in the top 5 in the country. And just the amount of opportunities that I've been able to acquire through those has just transformed me to where I am today. And now I'm giving everything back. So I'm actually training women your age. I'm training younger women on their confidence levels. If they're looking to get into modeling, I teach them the right way to do it, because I've had my ups and my downs. And it's going to happen whether it's in a business, whether it's in your personal life. So I'm looking to give back in those kind of ideas. So now I'm going back to school in May, actually in a couple weeks, to do the business of fashion. And right then it will certify me, and it'll help me share my dream and my goals and my passion with people who have the exact same as mine. So it was definitely a life I did not choose. But I kind of feel like when that happens, it just, I can't even pronounce it. I don't even have words. It just turns out to be something that you could never dreamed of. I don't know if you guys ever had that experience, but that's kind of where I am now. I wish I could go into more detail, because there's so much to what got me here, with like the struggles and the highs and the lows and all that kind of stuff. But maybe I'll have to come back for volume 2.
There you go.
But I wanted to leave anything open for questions, because I know it's an industry that a lot of people have questions about and how things work, and so I leave it open to anyone who has questions. Yes?
So I'm interested in your idea of beauty.
Yes, that's a great question, actually. And I believe in natural beauty and enhancing beauty. I do not believe in changing it. I know it's very prevalent in women and society, because we want to look like the girl in the magazine. But within our society now, a lot of stuff is becoming more accepting. Like, one of my girlfriends who did Miss Universe Canada this year, Sierra Rochelle, she was, oh my goodness, she was just destroyed on social media because she was too fat to compete at Miss Universe, and she was not fat at all. But that's how our society is. So it's more about having confidence in yourself, and that's the big thing that you guys spoke about today. And everyone's going to have an idea, everyone's going to have an opinion, and either you agree with that opinion, or you process it and move on. And that's kind of my idea with beauty, because beauty is different shapes, different colors, different everything. So I welcome as much beauty as possible, like your eye colors, the beauty of your stature, whether you are thin, whether you are curvy. It's how you feel as an individual. It's you being comfortable in your skin. That's what defines beauty, I think. So does that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes.
What's involved in the business fashion course that you're going to be taking?
So I actually just got the pamphlet about a couple weeks ago, so I haven't memorized it yet, but it's all the different aspects of building your own business. So I'm branding myself as an individual because I have learned so many different aspects of fashion, confidence levels, beauty, and I want to make it into a whole brand. So if I have a woman come up to me saying, Maddison, I'm struggling with my confidence levels because I will be able to help you, whether it's changing the way you want to look based on your outfits or your confidence level with a more personal level, because with me competing in a swimsuit, for example, it's tough, and everyone's just like, well, she's beautiful, it's easy. No, it's really not. You know, like, people see the beautiful, glamorous whatever that's on the stage, but they have no idea what goes on behind closed doors. You know, I've cried, I've been frustrated, I've wanted to give up. Like, it happens. But when you want to get to the top and you want to be that person or that successful business, it's gonna be hard. And if you think it's not going to be, you're only kidding yourself. So that's where I've been able to really learn the positives and the negatives of climbing the ladders and wanting to be the best. And yes, another question. See, I could go on forever. But
Where is the course?
It's in Toronto. It's within a fashion academy. So they're dealing on the basic business aspects, but at the same time they're intertwining it into fashion as well, because it's the business of fashion. So you're learning how to deal with your clients, what to look for, the base of a business, all that kind of stuff. I can give you the pamphlet if you want it. I don't have it with me, but I can send it to you. It's really cool. It's a couple months, and you have time in the class and you have outside the class. So you can get your hands dirty too, which is nice. So you have that experience. Yes.
I hope I'm not hogging.
No, that's okay.
I'm just curious, how do you hold your own power when you're competing against things, like you said, everybody has a different opinion about beauty, and there's judges that are going to make that decision what's beautiful or not, and you're on stage with, what, 20, 30 other beautiful women that are undeniable that they're beautiful just in their uniqueness. How do you own your own power, stay in your own power while you're competing? How, like we talked about value today, how does that interrelate to your journey?
Yeah, it's amazing, because when you say 20 or 30 girls, it's more like 60 to 100. It's a lot of women. And with most competitions that I've done, you've had more than just one aspect of competing. You don't just walk on stage and say, hey, look at me, I'm pretty. Especially for Miss Universe, for example, like, they interview you personally. You know, it's kind of like speed dating, actually. You have 8 to 12 judges, and they're kind of set up with tables like this, and you go judge to judge to judge to judge, and they have to get to know you within 3 minutes. So it's very first impression when you're in interviews, because even interviews in general, it's always about your first impression. That's what I've always been taught: what you look like, how you approach the person, like all that kind of stuff. And then when you're on the stage, it's how you present yourself. It's your charisma. It's your gown and how you portray yourself. And beauty pageants are beauty pageants. You're being judged on how you look as well. And a lot of people can't wrap their heads around that. They're like, well, why would you judge her for her body? Why would you judge her for this? And it's like, that's what it is. And a lot of people have trouble understanding that. So it's nice to try to elaborate to get people to understand that these women are beautiful, but they are smart. These women have degrees. These women are nurses. They are lawyers. They're whoever they want to be. And so when you're talking to a person about getting to know them as beauty, you're getting to know them on the inner, but also on the outside. And it's hard in competitions, because sometimes you do get robbed. Sometimes that person won when you thought you should have, but that's the name of the game. That's just how it happens. But I've been able to stay very down to earth and just keep climbing the ladder. That's very important, right? Staying down to earth, keeping humble, and it's your charisma that you put out there that attracts the people and keeps the people. So that's kind of what I've kind of gained from it so far. And I'm only 24, so I'm climbing that ladder, as they say, learning from the mistakes and keep on going. So yeah. Did you have a question too?
I do.
24 and you're competing with young women who are in their 20s, can you ever see yourself coaching older women, or do you see yourself coaching mainly younger women?
I do both now. I do both. I coach younger women and I coach older women now because through my whole journey, the main thing that I've seen lack in every single person I've met is confidence. I've seen it lack in every single person I've ever met. And I'm standing here being, I guess, letting myself open to you guys, letting you know that I've lacked confidence. And because I've lacked confidence, I have been able to teach myself and to teach other people how to keep the confidence, how to gain it, how to kind of just let yourself be comfortable in your own skin. Because if you're not comfortable in your own skin, who else is gonna be attracted to your confidence and your charisma? I keep saying those two words because they really play a part with each other. So right now I am training younger women who are competing in teen pageants, and that's a very crucial age to make sure that these teens learn the right way to love themselves, to do it the right way, because you can get lost in this industry. It's a phenomenal industry, but it's a tough one. It's a tough one. So I've been called in by a lot of people to start training these girls, and for older women, I keep it very personal. I keep it on a good level. I let them tell me what they lack and what they need help with, and I make sure that they don't feel ashamed of it because we're all human. Like, we're going to have our issues, we're going to have our struggles, and like you guys are doing today, you're working as a unit to empower each other. So that's what I'm doing now with making myself a personal brand. And I'm coaching another girl. She's 15 years old. She's not in beauty pageants. She's a beautiful girl, but she's not in beauty pageants. She's actually going to the Summer Olympics for archery. So this is where I get to take my sports and bring it back to the personal level and to teach her how to keep the confidence, to stay focused. She's 15 years old. So it's very cool how the life I had before is intertwined with the life that I have now. So that's what I'm doing when I'm building my brand in the business aspect.